Man, this year was so much fun, but it definitely came with some challenges. Thank goodness for 2K.
And the starting lineups have concluded. So well, terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. And here's a look at some numbers for Beasley.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at that true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling it.
Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Dort in at the small forward. And for Minnesota, Beasley is out there with Russell. Then there's Towns, and it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4 slot. With the playoffs coming up quickly, Clark's strength of schedule can play a big role as it determines where a team is going to be seeded come playoff time.
No, I agree with you in terms of even just making the playoffs sometimes, Kevin, based on where teams are and who they're playing. I mean, those matchups against potential playoff teams that are still fighting for seeding, they can sharpen you up and get you ready. And actually, those games can be playoffs before the playoffs in many ways.
I always admire the coaches, Clark, that walk their players through the different scenarios because they should be aware.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You want everything out in front of you. As long as your team is able to handle it, and most of these teams can, I think that's a good point.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
And he gets the bucket.
Well, you know, this is just who Russell is, in my opinion, guys. A very assertive and confident player who looks to score the ball as much as he can.
Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 28-point game against Utah.
And we have to mention his rebounding. It wasn't all about the offense. He battled his tail off down low.
Another shot, and there's the nice layup by Adams. Adams has got 6 points.
And you know what? He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty when it comes to really fighting on the backboard.
Yeah, we call those winning plays, particularly when you're doing it with the kind of effort he does. Those kinds of hustle plays, it'll be interesting to see what he's got left in his tank because he usually makes a bunch of those.
Hernan Gomez. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Last time they met was in Minnesota where they beat the Timberwolves.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Yeah, it was really simple. I mean, you look at the numbers, they did a better job of knocking down the free throws.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I think the pass was even better. I mean, that was room service delivery at its finest.
And you look at the way Steven Adams has developed his offense the last few years. It's been a huge boost for this team. He has always been a great defender, but now he is an important cog on this team in terms of scoring.
It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. There's the feed to Towns, and there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
James Johnson's checked in for Juan Hernan Gomez. Noel's checked in for the Thunder. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Paul. They double him with Russell. And the pass to Gallinari. They get it back, and it's Adams on the follow. 1:57 left to play here in the first. And Towns throws it down.
Oh, I love how Towns plays with a chip on his shoulder. He brings it every night with force.
And with Adams in his offense, you forget how young he is.
And big men, sometimes they just take a little longer to find their path in the NBA. And Adams has certainly found his. I remember him being in mostly to screen and rebound when he was a rookie, but look how far his game has come.
And Minnesota has possession. The Thunder making the shot. Here's Towns. Off target from outside. And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the layup's good off the glass.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points in close range.
Yeah, you look at Russell, and one of the things I like most about his game is this guy has great vision and passing ability.
There's Gallinari with the three. It's rebounded by Towns. The Timberwolves have gone 7 of 11 for the field to begin the game. Akogi, the pass to Towns. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
So both teams changing it up here. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And to this point on the season, guys, 80% from the line. He's done a really good job.
Guys, he's slightly fallen off his pace from a year ago at the line, and those points from the stripe have been a little harder to come by.
Now here's Schroeder. He had 27 points last game. Pass to Ferguson, out to the wing. It's tipped. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Noel finishes the break with a slam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. It's on Dennis Schroeder. The Timberwolves have shot just one free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
It's been all about Carl Anthony. All-star big man Carl Anthony Towns is hungry to match.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God.
His coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Minnesota.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
They've got Towns, Culver out there with Lehman, and it's Reed in at the 4 spot. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. But he's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, it's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling. And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Kicks it to Culver. Poke loose. Right side Towns. The 10-footer. He squares up and sinks it. Towns has got the lead up to 10 now for the Timberwolves.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Here's Ferguson. Here's Noel. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And it's Schroeder missing. Timberwolves leading by 10. Greg, last season, Dennis Schroeder transitioning to more of a six-man role with the Thunder.
And for his first go at that role, I thought Schroeder looked really good. He's always been able to score and create, and coming off the bench might be the best spot for him.
A lot of guys like to shoot off the dribble, but Clark, there are some that really are better at it, shooting off that catch in the NBA.
Yeah, and who do you have in mind, Kevin? I got a couple of names that I'm thinking about. What about you?
Well, I'm thinking Klay Thompson because that backcourt is so prolific, and he's been so great at that, and that's kind of been his trademark.
Yeah, it has been. Redick would be another guy.
Yes, another good
that I think that would come to mind. And even though he's later in his career now, but Kyle Korver, one of the very best we've had in the league at shooting off the catch.
Back to Hernan Gomez. Nice pass. Right into the rack perfectly for the layup. Hernan Gomez has got 4 points now in the quarter. Paul, right side. He dishes it to Noel. Right wing. Here's Dort. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. And Lehman pulls it down. One-on-one here. Here's Culver. That shot off. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now here's Paul. Defense is right there. Shot clock at 6. And that time, also a missed shot.
Boy, he's got to be kicking himself for failing to make that shot. That's money.
Reed misses.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of it. The ball movement on this run has been fantastic. It is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Passes it to Muscala. Goes up the baseline. 2 points. That one goes. Muscala's got his first bucket in this one. Looking at the last game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was a loss to the Rockets in Houston. Culver passes to Hernan Gomez. Fires the three. Kept alive. Great positioning on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Robertson kicks to Muscala. They get the rebound. Pass to Dort. Here's Noel, and he banks in the layup. Noel's got his second basket. Timberwolves leading by 15. Down low, Noel. Got a hand on it. Here's Dort. Keeps it alive. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
Noel, defended by Robertson. Here's Reed over Noel. That one a little long.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
And there's the call on Jake Layman. That's his first foul. Here's Paul. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Johnson with the block. Dish now to Beasley. There's the triple. Sinks the triple. And the Timberwolves lead by 16.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working.
Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, what a start it was for Karl Anthony Towns. He ended up with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. And what can you say? Towns, an impressive effort here.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's doing exactly what he has to do. Using his body, shaking off contact, and then finishing at the rim.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So the Thunder 5 right now. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Dort in at the 3 spot.
And one thing the Wolves have done well over the past few seasons, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, you know, they squeeze it well. Low turnovers can be a double-edged sword, though. If you don't make many mistakes, maybe you're not being aggressive enough.
Paul passes to Adams. There's the 3. The Thunder keep it going. A new 14-second clock. Launches it. The putback. It's good on the putback.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Russell, and the shot goes down. Russell's got 6 points.
They opened the gates, and he came through. D'Angelo, quick recognition.
And another 3 for Minnesota.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
They get it again. Timberwolves leading by 20. The pass to Okogie. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Boy, I like the disposition and attitude since halftime. They're patiently looking for good shots.
And they double up Paul. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
You know, this is why they trust Paul to run the offense. I mean, he's so good at getting the ball to guys on time and on target.
Russell with a wide open look. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
They've been going to him an awful lot this game, and you can see why. He's pouring it on.
Towns wide open. Those 3-pointers off the mark. Oklahoma City has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Out to Gallinari. Pass to Paul. From deep. That one doesn't go. And Minnesota now the other way.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot. And the team is struggling because of cashing in on the interior, making it look all too easy. You know, early in his career, there were questions surrounding D'Angelo Russell's maturity, and understandably so. That's the case with most young players. But of late, in his case, his improvement as a player and his growth as a person is impressive.
Good on the bucket.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one is on Towns. And beginning his career with the Lakers, coaches wanted Russell to take a more serious approach.
Yeah, you know what? I think his last year there, losing the trust of his teammates, probably woke him up a bit. Sometimes you got to go through the adversity to recognize what you need to change. It's not enough to just put up numbers. You got to be a professional in how you go about your business, and plenty to like about where D'Angelo Russell is and where he's headed.
Twitter passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. An easy 2 points on the layup. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 8 points.
Doing all he can so far, but they still find themselves trailing.
To the inside, and stolen by Noel. Fires the 3. Oklahoma City gets it back. The shot comes out. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Reed. Here's Russell. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Passes to Johnson. The offensive rebound. It doesn't go for him. Oklahoma City shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Ferguson, the pass to Schroeder. Here's Ferguson. Shot from the top of the key. Here's Noel. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Second chance shot. And it's Schroeder missing. And now Minnesota on the fast break. No good from Beasley. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. Their defense has been active and effective. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate. And how about the setup this was?
Yeah, and as a two guard, he's typically not a reluctant shooter. So it was really nice to see him orchestrating for a teammate instead.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. We've got Malik Beasley. Johnson is out there with Culver. Then it's Russell. And it's Reed in at the center position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Do you think on average rookies are having a greater impact on their teams now than in decades past?
I really don't think so, Kevin. You can go back and look at the numbers historically. Every draft class usually has 6 to 10 rookies that have a significant impact on their respective teams. And of those 10, perhaps 10 or 12, maybe only a few are going to be on playoff teams just because of the nature of the draft. I don't really think that's changed tremendously over the decades.
Russell against Schroeder. Pass to Muscala. Feeds it to Gallinari. Back to Muscala. And foul on the, and it looks like, yep, it's a coach's challenge on the personal foul. That triggers a replay review by the official.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Okogie comes in for Culver. Robertson, that one misses. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Okogie inside the three-point line. No good with the wing jumper. Thunder have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Paul for 3. Adams. And it's Adams on the follow.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there.
And great instincts, too, guys, anticipating where the miss was going.
There's Russell with the 3. Thunder with the rebound. Adams has got 9 rebounds now tonight. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And stolen by Russell. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Johnson's got the ball. And then Johnson with the dunk.
The 6'9" wingspan of Russell. Reaches, picks it clean, then there he goes off to the races.
The shot by Paul. Nobody around. No good on the 3.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
So good at getting to his spots and then cashing in, making the game look easy.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Here's Muscala, and the shot is good. Muscala's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
From deep, Johnson can't get it to go. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. Clark, you and I are amazed at how the global interest of the NBA has just gone through the roof. The league has made a lot of right moves, I think, in this area.
They sure have, Kevin. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the international reach through what coaches in this country have done in teaching the game and promoting the game, not just coaches but players as well. I think there's something about the game of basketball that just really transcends cultures. The pace of the game, the personality of the players, the creativity of the game, all of that lends itself to being so popular globally.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Minnesota.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even. And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for D'Angelo Russell.
I thought his active hands were a big help. I mean, he took some chances on defense, and his gambles paid off. He got a bunch of steals.
And they'll keep possession. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Here's Baisley. Spellman with the rebound.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Took him no time at all on that one.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they've given their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
Well, for the Timberwolves, they can just run out the clock here. And that one drops for him.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
And the first one at the line is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now, here is Russell. Over Diallo. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've
The NBA 2K21 demo is out now, and in this episode, we're jumping.
As we approach the playoffs, let's now take a look at what's shaping up in the West. You look at the Thunder. They've done well enough to be in 5th place in the conference so far.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
Yeah, even so, though, I'm sure they're not satisfied just being near the top of the standings. They're going to be looking to make a major push as the season winds down.
So the New York starting 5. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Barrett is out there with Elfrid Payton, and it's Harkless in at the 3 spot. And for the Thunder, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Chris Paul is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Dort in at the small forward position.
Well, not sure who was responsible for the blockout, but this guy got in there and dug out his points.
The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And with the way Mitchell Robinson can protect the rim doors, there's a lot to like about that second-round pick.
Yeah, on draft day, Mitchell Robinson flew under the radar, but he had a great summer league. He got tremendous minutes early as a rookie. This is a great leaper, a great shot blocker, always something teams can use, both of those attributes.
Now, here is Robinson following the shot by Chris Paul. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Oklahoma City called for the foul. Of course, the playoff seedings still jumbled a bit. Up in the air, just how important you think it is to get home court advantage in the NBA playoffs in this era.
Historically speaking, Kevin, as you know, home court advantage is absolutely monumental, and it doesn't matter the round of the playoffs. It could be a conference semifinal or an NBA final. If you come down to a Game 7, that home court advantage can be the difference between winning and losing. You want as much in your favor, Kevin, as you know, going into the postseason.
Robinson with the block.
Nothing going right on the offensive end. 0 for 4 from the field.
Over in the corner, Harkless wants to get it to Robinson and does. Randall on the follow. Randall's got his second bucket.
Yeah, and how about the stick-to-itiveness on that possession? Stayed with it, didn't give up until the ball was in the basket.
Dort misses.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Pass to Randall. Unloads from 9. Barrett. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Oklahoma City has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Paul passes to Adams. Out left to the wing. Here's Dort. Defended by Harkless. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. To the middle, it's deflected. Here's Harkless, back to Randall. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. Offensive rebound. There's the pass to Payton. Here's Robinson. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. And it's 6 points for Robinson.
It's early, but they are getting pummeled on the glass.
1:57 left to play in the first. Paul kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. Good on the three-point shot.
The vision, the timelessness of Chris Paul's game for many years. He's made everyone around him better.
Guys, when you consider the New York Knicks roster, there is some talent amongst their young players. More than a handful of their guys in their first 3 years in the league. Kevin Knox, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Dotson all could be factors for them in the future.
Here's Dort. He's still scoreless so far in this one.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, Greg, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And Barrett slams it in.
Man, sometimes it feels like Barrett wants it more than anyone else on the floor.
Paul dishes to Gallinari. Here's the break. And Barrett slams it in.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
No doubt, Greg. On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Here's Adams. The Knicks making the shot. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Steven Adams is improving on the offensive end, and given his size and strength, he's effective from inside.
Payton drives in. And Adams sends it back. And here's the fast break. Here's Dort. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
4 seconds left. They grab their own miss. Robinson. It's tipped. They get it back. And so it's the New York Knicks heading to the bench with a set. Well, there's a great friendship between Melo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade.
It's been a sort of long.
And you see that a lot nowadays. Star players developing friendships and GA spending time with each other off the floor.
Yeah, some people hate it because they want that bad blood you used to see, but no reason you have to hate someone to really compete against them.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
Nerlens Noel is out there with Muscala. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Ferguson in at the 3. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here's Ntilikina. 20 points for him last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. To the right side. New York moving it around. Knox the pass to Ntilikina. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Bullock from the arc. Thunder with the rebound. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
Certainly something to keep an eye on. We'll see how the rotations go this time out. Every night it seems to be different.
So it's the Knicks now. The Thunder making the shot. Ntilikina kicks to Gibson. Now here's Bullock. He's guarded by Diallo. Bullock passes to Gibson. The 19-footer is on the money. Gibson's got his first points of the night.
And now, in his second year coaching the Knicks, David Fizdale putting more of a stamp on this team, changing the mindset of the franchise.
Well, the New York Knicks hired David Fizdale to steer the ship with a group of young players. And I want you to think back to where he earned his stripes. That was with the LeBron James and Dwayne Wade championship Miami teams. So he knows culture and he knows winning.
Great positioning on the putback.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, before he became a head coach in Memphis and New York, David Fizdale spent 8 seasons as an assistant under Eric Spoelstra in Miami. Now, Spo said he's a brilliant basketball mind that has exceptional gold standard level communication skills. One of the most talented coaches I've been around. So, Kevin, Fizdale is highly respected.
David, he sure is. Great reputation. Now getting his shot. Thank you so much. And it's the Knicks with the ball. After the missed 3 from Dennis Schroeder. Here's Knox. The putback. It's good on the putback. And the Knicks lead by 9.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Noel passes to Ferguson. And Muscala kicks to Diallo. Fires top of the key. It's rebounded by New York.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Well, at 6'9", you can see the ability of Kevin Knox to run the floor and finish in transition. That's perfect.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Noel passes to Schroeder. Feeds to Muscala. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Don't you love how Noel just sticks with it, never gives up on the possession, working really hard for his guys.
58 seconds left in the first half of the game. No coverage that time. Ntilikina's got the lead up to 11 now for the Knicks.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Diallo finds Noel. Back to Diallo. Knicks with the rebound. Portis has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Passes it to Ferguson. Here's Noel. Schroeder outside. The high post shot misses off the left iron. And they're moving it up. And Portis throws it down.
I like to see Kevin Knox share the basketball because what it shows is an improving awareness in finding his teammates. That's how people want to play with you.
And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, Ben. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They lead by 15. And that'll do it.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Well, you have to like what you're seeing, guys, from Mitchell Robinson.
And those extra chances mean so much. And he has shaped the game with the way he's been pulling down those offensive boards.
Really putting his handprint on this game. You love the hustle. You love the work ethic he has had on display.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And New York, looking at who they've got. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Barrett is out there with Payton, and it's Harkless in at the 3 slot. Now here's Payton. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points. Kicks to Harkless. Pass to Barrett. Takes the 3. With the putback. Randall on the follow. Randall's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Knicks.
I love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. And it's good for 2. So it's such an honor to be on this with you. And you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst. Breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Now here's Payton. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go. Payton kicks to Randall. Plenty of space. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Gilgeous-Alexander. It's good. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 5 points so far.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Al Payton, he gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Shot from the wing. The shot, no good.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
No one near Randall as he lets it go. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Ball against Payton. Back to Paul. Adams, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Free throw line jump shot. The shot's good from Paul. Paul's got his second basket of the game.
Listen, he hits that shot on a regular basis. Give credit to the offense for getting him a clean look.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, we all know that circumstances and time changes everything. In Dallas, Dennis Smith Jr. thought he was going to be the cornerstone. But with the arrival of Luka Doncic, everything changed. The promising point guard was traded to the Knicks, and Smith said it was important. It's a big opportunity, and I've just got to make the most of it. Kevin, we know one thing in New York, the ball is back in Smith's hands.
And DA, that's when he is at his best. Thank you. It's good. Paul's got 8 points in the quarter.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Back to Payton. Shoots the three. Offensive rebound. He's off on that one. Thunder trailing by 13. Down low. Paul's shot is off. There's 49 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Barrett. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Barrett's got 9.
Yeah, you close off the lane. Barrett can pull up on a dime and knock down that jumper.
Pass to Robertson. And Adams kicks to Paul. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Ellington, it's rebounded by Robertson. And Adams has got the ball here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's a 14-point game. Here's Paul with the second effort. Adams' shot is good. 6 points for him.
We are talking about a big-time offensive rebounder, and Steven Adams unafraid to impose his will with that frame.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over, so you...
And so it's New York, sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. We come back right after this. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. We've got Dennis Schroeder. Muscala is out there at Nerlens Noel. And it's Diallo in at the 2 guard. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here's Noel. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Gibson.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Well, coaches love seeing this from Dennis Schroeder. Recognize the situation, find the open teammate.
Now here's Ellington. And the Knicks getting another bucket right there. And the Thunder with the possession here. They trail by 18. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Here's Muscala. Buries it from three-point range. Muscala's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And in that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Bullock passes to Ellington. New York moving it around. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. The Knicks making a switch here. Harkless is checked in. Thunder trailing by 15. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Three-pointer. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. They led by as many as 18 points. For 3, Bullock. Dort grabs the miss. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. 2018 rookie class has been something to watch, Doris. Talent at the top, but also some terrific mid-round picks.
No question. Landry Shamet is a guy who I think can be a clutch, big-time scorer who does not seem bowed by any moment, doesn't seem to be affected by pressure. Mitchell Robinson had one of the great shot-blocking seasons in New York Knicks history. I know the team didn't have success, but as a second-round guy, Mitchell Robinson could have an awfully long career.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Pulls up on the wing. Offensive rebound. And Gibson kicks to Harkless. For 3, Bullock. That one doesn't go.
And that's an important rebound, especially on a night where the board work has not been their best.
Gallinari controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Gallinari's got it back down to single digits for the Thunder.
Well, and it took a terrific effort at both ends to sustain this run.
And, Greg, they found their composure on both ends of the floor, and that is what triggered this run. Well, he showed right there, this guy capable of making shots, especially if you leave him that wide open.
Fast break, here they come. Here's Payton, and he lays it straight in. And the Knicks lead by 14.
Well, really good recognition from Elfrid Payton. In transition, getting to the right spot.
Ritter passes to Gallinari. And that one, good.
Well, just tremendous composure on the interior. Read the defense, take advantage of the situation, and deliver.
Payton kicks to Bullock. Back to Payton. Now the pass to Bullock. Left side, Gibson. Shot clock at 5 over Noel. And there are the Knicks with another bucket.
And Gibson always has had a solid mid-range game. You can't let him get comfortable from that spot.
Here's Dort. Count that one. Dort. The Knicks leading by 12. Payton right side. Dishes it to Gibson. Here's Harkless. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Knicks.
We got to see a display of offensive prowess in this one that got it done. High-scoring game.
Bucket after bucket. They were really in attack mode all game long.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And so they're able to even up the season series at a game apiece with one left to play, exacting a little revenge and really saving face. They did not want to go down 2-0.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Julius Randle.
This guy has been shot-making all night long. He commands the rock and takes over.
Harkless on the wing. Right side, Gibson. Payton dishes to Gibson. Shoots a fader. The Thunder pull it in.
You know, he made an easy shot so much harder, and it really cost him the bucket, guys.
Gallinari on the wing. The shot from 20 feet away. There's Noel. So no problem for New York as they get the win. This was a very... All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks.
this special edition of 2K TV.
The wait is almost over. We are just days away from 2K Day and the launch of NBA 2K21.
And if you can't wait, you can get early access to the NBA 2K21 demo right now. Here's how you get started.
Welcome, everyone, to Noche NBA. To talk about this, David, some new ground certainly to look at. Thank you. And let's check out a breakdown, looking at some stats for Beasley.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different scorer than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. D'Angelo Russell out there with Beasley. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4. And for New York, Randall out there with Taj Gibson. Then there's Elfrid Payton. Then there's Mo Harkless. And it's Barrett in at the 2.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Robinson's checked in for New York. Beasley outside. Russell against Payton. Here's Hernan Gomez. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Brent, talk about the length of the season. Commissioner Silver is also considering proposals to shrink the season. What do you think?
I think it'd be interesting, and I'm not sure financially how the league goes back from an 82-game season and ticket sales and revenue and television and how they kind of unwind what it is they've agreed to. But 70 games to me in terms of the competition, Kevin, in terms of the elevated play of the star players on a nightly basis, the fact that you probably get stars to appear in every game and not be sat out for load management and things like that, I think overall it'd be pretty healthy.
Offensive rebound, Robinson. Pass to Barrett. He kicks to Payton. New York moving it around. It's stolen. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let up, GA. I think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
That 3 off the mark. For the Knicks, it's been a slow start here. Searching for their first points of the game.
You can see Randall just seeing some open court in front of him, accelerating and making something happen in transition.
And finish off by Hernan Gomez.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
There are only a few players in the league who can hit a teammate like that in stride. Beautiful assist.
Russell with a wide open look. And the 3 off target. For New York, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. The shot by Harkless, no good.
They'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space. Just clanked it.
Towns kicks to Hernan Gomez. Russell from long range. The offensive rebound. Here's Towns. And finally they hit one.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Yeah, see the coach? He's got that frown on his face. I think we know why. Not a high percentage look.
Now here's Beasley, and they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Here's Barrett following the 3 by Minnesota. Harkless the pass to Robinson. Out to Payton. The pass to Barrett. Back to Payton. And here is Harkless. 6 to shoot. Beasley with the steal. And now Russell pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the slam dunk by Russell.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Yeah, the bully ball tonight has paid dividends. Highly effective down there with the physical play.
And a trying summer for the New York Knicks fans. After trading away Porzingis, they were hoping to get a big-name player in free agency, Greg, and they didn't.
You know, shocking they refused to offer the max to Kevin Durant. I mean, there were concerns with the Achilles, but instead he ends up in Brooklyn. Combine that with fans' disappointment at missing out on Zion Williamson, and the saga continues.
And it's Towns missing. Looking at the Knicks, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Hawks. Oh, and the jam by Barrett.
This guy is a fantastic athlete. Barrett looking like a man on a mission with that slam.
Fires from the line. Robinson pulls it in.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
Pass to Harkless. Payton, right side. Back to Harkless. Over Hernangomez. And Mo Harkless, the basket on the assist from Payton.
You risk getting torched when somebody's open. Payton's skilled enough to find the open man.
Here's Hernangomez. Randall grabs the board. Here's Barrett. Lays it up off the glass. Right side Russell. Over Payton. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
Well, that height and the length from the point guard position is pretty rare, and he uses them very well on defense.
One of the most high-powered.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And looking at what we've seen from the Timberwolves, what do you guys think?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
You don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Barrett and Knox are the wingmen. And it's Ntilikina in at the point guard. They're the group New York will start the second with. And good that time. Johnson's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Timberwolves. Here's Ntilikina. 20 points for him last game against Atlanta. Barrett wide open. He fires. That three off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake.
Well, Fizdale, part of those great teams in Miami as an assistant coach with Eric Spoelstra. He coaches with a lot of fire and enthusiasm, is very involved emotionally in what his team does on a daily basis, and it's why a lot of these young players are gravitating towards his coaching style.
Now, here's Barrett. He's coming off a 16-point game against Atlanta.
And also in that one, he had the opposition on pins and needles on the defensive end of the floor, recording 4 steals that night on his way to an overall stellar game.
And New York hoped that Fizdale's likability would be a factor in free agency.
Yeah, I think it's going to help the Knicks as they move forward here. Try to find some stability with their coach. That way David Fizdale and his messaging can remain consistent with the type of players that they try to attract here to Gotham.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Portis is checked in for Robinson. Reggie Bullock comes in for Kevin Knox. And Ellington is subbed in for Barrett. To the paint, it's stolen by Randall. Portis with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Gotta take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
And how about the sequence in its entirety? Momentum swing, and you love the effort here.
And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And New York making a change here. Gibson's checked in. Knicks trail by 4. Here's Bullock. And Culver pulls it down. Here's Reed. 11 points for him in that last game against Houston. Passes it to Layman. Now here's Culver. He's guarded closer. He had a nice open look right there. With social media, extended TV coverage, lots of distractions for these players, Brent. But some do a terrific job of blocking all that out and keeping their focus.
I think the roles and responsibilities of teams is changing around exactly what you're talking about, Kevin. You have to have people within your organization to help these players understand where it is that they have to focus most. And that is your job on the floor. And so really good organizations are educating the players on that. They're not just relying on the agents or outside sources. Teams are trying to get in there and impact guys at a young age to make sure that, as you said, that noise is not part of their beginning part of their career.
We'll get it straight.
That is the perfect technique to rebound. I mean, he shields his man, kept him behind, and then he's off to the races.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Garrett Colbert, three-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
The Knicks making a switch here. Payton's checked in. Timberwolves also changing it up. Hernan Gomez comes in for James Johnson. And it's Russell in for Culver. Rocket 6. Bullock dishes to Gibson. Pass to Payton. For 3, Bullock. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Bullock's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Russell feeling it out a bit from deep three-point range. Kept alive, Minnesota. Beasley kicks to Russell. Drains it from beyond the arc. Russell's got 9.
Good form on the jump shot. Russell's ability to stretch the floor makes him even more valuable.
Pass to Bullock. Back to Ellington. Payton outside. And there's the pass to Ellington. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The Timberwolves have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. And he makes the first. Knox, he's checked in for Wayne Ellington. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Pass to Portis. Back to Gibson. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. Russell with it. He's coming off a 28-point game against the Rockets in Houston.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
The Timberwolves shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Here's Payton. Towns with the steal. From deep. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, it was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. At the end of the period, they held. And that does it for our halftime show.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. You look at D'Angelo Russell, what a contribution.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
Checking out the group now for Ryan Saunders to start the second half. They've got Towns, Malik Beasley out there with Russell, and it's Okogie in at the small forward position.
Explosive off the bounce with great body control. Barrett's most effective when going downhill.
And Minnesota has possession. The Knicks making the shot. Here's Russell. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far.
unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
It's Beasley on the wing, defended by Gibson. Knicks trail by 11. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
17-foot shot on the way. And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for Minnesota. It's off to Oklahoma City for him after this game, so they have the Thunder to look forward to. 7-game road trip continues for them. That'll be game number 3.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Bobby Portis has checked in for Julius Randle. Damian Dotson comes in for Barrett. And it's Ntilikina in for Elfrid Payton. Up again, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Timberwolves lead by 15.
Great at using his body and finding his feet in positions on the boards where he can get up, get to it, get an extra possession.
And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable three-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
Robinson's checked in for Taj Gibson. You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper or a wink, you know, the way that they look at it.
It's both sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit.
They're running. Here's Harkless. Yes, that goes in. Harkless has got 6.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Minnesota.
Deflects the pass. Stolen by Robinson. Harkless the pass to Robinson. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Well, recognizing the size mismatch and then turns it into an easy basket there. They've got to do a better job with defensive help.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Okogie's checked in. Brent, a few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over, and you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player, and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
And here's Culver after the three-pointer from Mo Harkless. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. New York moving the ball around. The lead now cut to single digits. Ntilikina's got his first basket of the night.
I like the decision to just rise up and fire. Ntilikina showing a confident play there.
Takes it from 10. It's rebounded by New York. Robinson's got his 8th rebound here tonight. For the 3. Minnesota with the rebound. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
New York with the ball. They've scored 10 straight. Got a piece of it. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. All alone. And then Culver with the dunk.
And the decision-making proving to be outstanding. Culver just has a knack for taking advantage of the D in the open floor.
Pass to Okogie. And he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
Now catching the lead pass at full speed, terrific anticipation. And the delivery, Kevin, on time, on target.
And here's Barrett. The three. Not going to go that time. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. Back to the action after this word. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Knox and Randall, they're the forwards. Alfred Payton is out there with Reggie Bullock, and it's Gibson in at the 5. That's the 5 for New York right now. And here's Bullock from the arc. Drops in the tray.
Yeah, Knox trying to improve in this portion of his offensive game, distribution.
Beasley for 3. So good that time. The Knicks go the other way with it. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
He's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
There's Okogie. Kicks it to Towns. Okogie, the pass to Towns. It's good from about 19 feet. And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
Now, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
That's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession.
And that was a risky pass. Fortunate that the D didn't get that one. It was in the air for a long time.
Robinson's checked in for the Knicks. Now here's Payton from past the arc. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And that was a little bit of a range check for them.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple.
Taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Robinson passes to Randall. Basket good.
So creative on offense. Randall getting more and more comfortable handling the ball and understanding where he can get to on specific possessions.
Here's Towns. They get it back. Goes back up. And oh boy. And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to a challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what David Fizdale said to the team. He is not happy with the turnovers. He said, we have got to get some shots. It's as simple as that, guys. Play smart and value the basketball. We'll see if the message sunk in, Kevin.
It's Randall with the drive. New York moving it around. Barrett, no good. Timberwolves leading by 9. Here's Russell. Good on the shot.
Never losing focus. Even after contact, Russell sends it home.
Beasley, the pass to Russell. Over Barrett. Russell, no good. New York, they're working against the clock now. Pass to Knox. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time. Beasley in the post. He's guarded by Bullock. Deep two from Russell. They get it back, and it's Towns on the follow. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
The pass to Knox. And here's Bullock from the arc. New York now working with the new shot clock. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Clearly a foul.
He misses the free throw. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Johnson's checked in. And the second of two is good. That brings them to within 10.
You know, the team's struggling to come back. He really wanted all of those free throws.
Russell from long range. Again, Russell missing.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
No, I haven't seen him in comfortable spots, or at least spots we've seen in this offensive set that are allowing him to settle in.
And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for the Timberwolves. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead.
I know it's about defending the post and the three-point line these days, but still got to be active in the mid-range area, and the defense gets away with one there.
Making plays in traffic. This is where Barrett's most effective.
A different look for New York. Taj Gibson's checked in for Robinson. Harkless comes in for Kevin Knox. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Reggie Bullock. Now, here is Russell. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth. 6 on the shot clock. Johnson outside, beyond the arc. It's a hand on it, and it's Towns on the follow.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, when you step into an opposing team's arena and you can play with this type of composure, boy, that food tastes good on the way out of town.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Now, here is Russell. Three-pointer. That shot off the mark. And so the Timberwolves take the win. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was.
Once you pick your jumper, it's time to join the Clippers and test your build in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes, and it's my player picking up the assist.
And if you're not feeling one of your builds, you have the ability to make 6 total builds and play 1 test game for each one.
With the thought of getting a victory on the road, the Timberwolves and a chance to take a look at some numbers for Beasley.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage, and it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. We've got Beasley. He's out there with D'Angelo Russell, and it's Hernan Gomez in at the 4 spot. And for Oklahoma City, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander, and it's Dort in at the 3 spot. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. After D'Angelo Russell's miss, count the basket.
And when you're open, Paul will find you in a nanosecond. I mean, that's one thing that makes him really special.
Russell against Paul. And that one's good. Russell.
An efficient start here offensively, working it inside for the easy 2.
Paul passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Gallinari down low. Hernan Gomez covering. Adams' shot is off. Inside, Towns. And Towns throws it down.
There's the great length we're always talking about with Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, leaving no doubt about that one.
To the inside. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Makes it off the glass. Towns has got his 2nd bucket of the night.
You know, defensively, there's not a lot you can do in that situation. I mean, Towns is just so big and strong and long. Really hard to stop him in the paint.
It's stolen by Adams. Here's Gallinari. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Gallinari's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go. Russell passes to Towns. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Adams, some nice D. Well, we're now on the back end of what has been, Greg, an incredible career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game, but still a top talent.
And Chris Paul might not be the best point guard, but any team would be happy to have him. His efficiency and playmaking aren't going away anytime soon. And even though he's never been an overly athletic player, that aspect of his game still is strong as ever.
Here's Towns. Gallinari making his last shot, and the dunk by Towns.
Yeah, you look at Russell, and one of the things I like most about his game is this guy has great vision and passing ability.
Ball stolen. Hernan Gomez kicks to Russell. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And that's up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 28-point game against Utah.
You know, I don't care how tight you play him. It's very hard to keep Paul from knocking that shot down. His in-between game is lethal.
Passes it to Okogie. Beasley outside. Nailed from 3-point land.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Paul. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. And a lot of contact on that one. Folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, You really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Noel. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Noel. Minnesota with the rebound. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do. Much easier said than done, but they're capable of making it happen. It just comes down, I think, to will and desire.
And he makes that one.
No defensive pressure at all. I mean, that's not going to get it done against him.
And Paul puts up a deep three. Oklahoma City gets it back. Ferguson kicks to Paul. 6 to shoot. Stripped it away. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Thunder trailing by 8. To end the run. And no good that time.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Layman gets the bucket.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their lead at 11 points to end.
The steals thing is...
You hear about the importance of watching film, Greg. It reveals itself in many ways.
And learning guys' habits. What they like to do gives him a knack for when to go after steals without hurting his team.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Timberwolves.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So the Thunder 5 right now. Andre Robertson out there with Mike Muscala. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. Then it's Noel. And it's Diallo in at the 2-guard. Timberwolves leading by 15. And this late in the season, Clark, for non-playoff contending. And now, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Now here's Schroeder. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Utah.
Boy, I thought his passing was absolutely fantastic. I mean, really picked apart the defense all game long.
So it's Minnesota now after the made shot from Dennis Schroeder. Culver in the corner. Off target with his 3. Thunder trailing by 15. Schroeder passes to Diallo. Got a piece of it, and he recovers it. Oklahoma City moving it around. Muscala misses.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Back to Johnson. score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Now here's Schroeder. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Doubled by Culver. Here's Diallo, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It goes on Jarrett Culver. The Thunder have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. We've seen some ugly incidents last few years, Clark, between players and heckling fans. Can anything be done to fix it?
I think security in the arenas is important. Fans oftentimes that go across the line in interacting with players are usually fueled by alcohol. I don't know how you could control that element of it. The incidents are few and far between. We have seen a few more, but I still don't think it's an epidemic. But I think security, and then each team and each franchise should really be educational with its fans about what's acceptable behavior and what won't be tolerated.
And so it's Gallinari with it. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's an 18-point game. Beasley kicks to Russell. Over Gallinari. And it's Russell missing.
Well, I don't think he's performing up to his own expectations, but they still find themselves out in front.
Here's Dort. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Gallinari. And it's sent back by Russell.
Well, I tell you what, his teammates love seeing this. So do I. I mean, when Russell is able to block a shot, that's a big bonus.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And you know you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Robertson the pass to Gallinari. Lays it up and banks it in. Gallinari's got 8.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Adams against Towns. Releases. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Thunder trailing by 18. Gilgeous-Alexander kicks to Robertson. The wing jumper off target. For Oklahoma City, their last game was a loss to the Jazz.
And, you know, the Timberwolves made Karl Anthony Towns their franchise cornerstone going forward. Cat signed a 5-year deal worth $190 million, and really it's not even a question. He's the present and future of this team.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander after the basket by Minnesota. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. For 3, Beasley. The shot missing. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Towns wide open. They get a hand on it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gallinari. Terrence Ferguson's checked in for Oklahoma City. Paul comes in for Andre Robertson. James Johnson's checked in for the Timberwolves. Culver comes in for D'Angelo Russell.
Outstanding vision from Karl Anthony Towns. Not only is he willing to give it up, but he's ready to find his teammates when they're open.
Hall, and there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
Costly error there. We'll see how they rebound from that miscue.
Well, you know what? Their wounds are self-inflicted. I mean, you've got to play much smarter than that.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Steven Adams, and it's Muscala in for Gilgeous-Alexander. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Layman's checked in.
You know, despite his youth, Kevin, Towns sees the big picture. I mean, he gets points any way you can, and we'll see if he can cash in at the line here.
19 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And the pass to Muscala. Goes up on the block, and he hits the jumper for 2. Muscala's got his first points of the night. Now, here's Culver, defended by Paul. With 4 seconds on the clock.
Well, you got to respect and admire the focus of Towns. I mean, he just doesn't get rattled. He just stays with it, embraces the challenge, and keeps coming.
A dominating first half of basketball. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back. It's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at Towns, he's really been playing well.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
Checking out the group now for Ryan Saunders to start the second half. They've got Karl Anthony Towns. Beasley is out there with D'Angelo Russell. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the four-man position. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. Ball outside. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Paul's got 6 points.
Boy, it would be fun to check the number of points that Paul has generated running the pick and roll throughout his career. It's such a reliable play for him because he's so good at reading the defense.
Towns, no luck.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
And, you know, even though in today's game floor spacing is all the rage, the last 5 years the Wolves attempted the fewest threes in the league. And when they did shoot them, they didn't make very many of them.
Now here's Paul. He has 6.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
11 feet away, and it's Beasley. That time in the assist by Towns. Beasley's got his second bucket tonight. And on top of their troubles from range, the Wolves have also had trouble on the defensive glass.
Yeah, and if you can't rebound and you're not shooting it well, you've got to figure out who you're going to be. Your identity is in question. That's what the Wolves are trying to figure out. Who are we? What do we do well? How do we win? How do we succeed? To get to the next level, they've got to answer that question.
So it's the Thunder now, following the bucket by the Timberwolves.
And when he rises up, he knows he's probably going to get a clean look. It's a matter of executing.
You know, for me, it doesn't get any better than seeing big fellas who can use the mid-range jumper to their advantage. Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Adams, the pass to Dort. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander. Lets it go with a 3. Kept alive. Here's Adams. Puts up a 3. It's deflected, but he recovers it. Shot clock at 6. Goes up again.
Well, you see the great reach as well as the relentless pursuit shown by Towns. He's simply saying, not here, not now, not in my house.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Terrence Ferguson's checked in for the Thunder. Diallo comes in for Paul. Ferguson's shot is good.
And the young Timberwolves head coach, Ryan Saunders, son of former Minnesota coach Flip Saunders, about as great of a pedigree you could ask for as a young coach.
Well, guys, you've heard me talk about the DNA when it relates to players. It's the same with coaches. I mean, Ryan has grown up seeing his dad coach at a high level, the late Flip Saunders, one of our favorites in the business. He spent his whole life around basketball, so he has a great way with players and a real good understanding of the game, to a modern-day approach for a young coach.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Molinari finds Gilgeous-Alexander to the paint. Here's Adams. Over Towns. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Boy, you've got to appreciate the passing there. Results in a great look.
The Thunder have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
My goodness, how about that miss? I mean, that's 2 easy points that they've just given away.
Ferguson. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Ferguson's got his second bucket. Noel. He's guarded by Diallo. Thunder have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. Here's Ferguson. Pass to Noel. There's 39 seconds left to play in the third. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And you think about the 2 best talents in Wolves history, KG, obviously, and probably Big Cat.
I would not disagree. I mean, KG is a Hall of Famer. And the Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, has been terrific early in his career. The rebounding and scoring, the versatility at that size between those 2 guys. Boy, it could have possibly been like the Admiral and Tim Duncan. Well, maybe not quite that good, but really good.
Muscala, he's checked in for Steven Adams.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Here's Schroeder. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Schroeder's got 6 points.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
Ferguson, the pass to Muscala. Here's Schroeder. And no good on the last second attempt this time. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over already. Timberwolves ahead, running away with this one. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
It's just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. A perimeter tandem, Ferguson and Gallinari. Noel is out there with Mike Muscala, and it's Schroeder in at the point. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
And when it comes to the paint, Noel owns it. I mean, really takes on any defender head on, and as a result, gets a lot of foul calls because of his aggressiveness.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Nader's checked in. Al Russell. Passes to Okogie. Lets it go. They get it again. Pass to Russell. Beasley outside. Second shot opportunity. Kept alive, Minnesota. Towns. Takes a 3. And D'Angelo Russell with the 3.
Encouraging signs for him after starting the game poorly. He's picked it up here in the second half.
Name some traits that make for a great team leader. You've been in that role. What did you like and embrace, and what have you seen from others?
Well, I think it starts with humility, a real sense of who you are and what your role is on the team as a leader, and then a really good example setter. I think those qualities are essential. Humility speaks to selflessness, but also being one that holds yourself accountable too.
Culver's checked in for Juan Hernangomez.
Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Josh Okogie. I mean, he was the 20th pick in the 2018 draft, and really well ahead of the curve as a rookie, and even saw starter minutes later on in the season. That's a great get for them.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
4th quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. And it's Russell with that extra effort. Russell's got 10 points here in the second half.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
And they pick up 2. And that's 18 points for Karl Anthony Towns. And meteoric rises not uncommon for Okogie.
Yeah, and Okogie's done a really nice job kind of turning the impression of him around, because he wasn't highly touted in college. But I tell you what, he's proven to be an impact player because of how he can defend and shoot.
Here's Nader after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Baisley. There's the dish to Muscala, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
A flawless finish on the alley-oop.
And, you know, defensively, you have to try something different. I mean, Towns has been lighting you up all night.
Thunder shooting for the game at 42%. The pass to Dort. A baseline J, and it comes off the front of the rim. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Russell passes to Culver, and Towns throws it down.
So good at getting to his spots and then cashing in, making the game look easy.
And stolen by Russell. Outside, Towns. Timberwolves with a fresh shot clock. Pass to Russell. Outside, Towns. 6 on the shot clock. For 3. Culver kicks to Towns. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And it's Russell in the corner. The putback, it's good on the putback.
Well, I like the way Towns reads where the ball is coming off when it's missed. And he's got excellent timing as well and did a good job beating everybody to the ball.
Good. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Noel. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 3 assists in the game.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Timberwolves.
This is a game where the defense, steals specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created possessions for them, scoring opportunities, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory here tonight.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And really an important win from a pride standpoint. Nobody likes getting swept, so they're able to salvage a win in this 4-game season series.
Yeah, and at 1-3, I mean, their record against this team obviously not pretty, but again, to your point, it's about pride and not being swept.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Karl Anthony Towns.
He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Andre Robertson comes in for Mike Muscala, and Diallo subbed in for Ferguson. Nader the pass to Baisley, banked in off the glass.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
Shot and game clock separated by 5, and stolen by Robertson. And the Thunder pushing it up now. Here's Diallo, and off the front iron, and in it goes.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency, huh? They could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
Passes it to Evans. The tray. No good there. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's
can't wait to get started in the NBA 2K21 demo, get my player started, and of course, all-time Lakers versus all-time Celtics.
Just out of curiosity, Chris, who has more championship rings?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Lakers, but
And it sure is fun to watch, BA. Thank you. As we approach the playoffs, let's see how the East is shaping up. You look at the Knicks, their season nearly over unless a form of miracle happens.
And I think for the Knicks, they've been stuck in a rut the entire season. We talk about teams maximizing their potential. Well, the opposite's been the case with this group.
I think, Greg, for them, it's obviously been very disappointing. And I get the sense it's starting to weigh on them night in and night out.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's George in at the 3 spot. And for New York, Payton is out there with Barrett. Then it's Taj Gibson. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's Harkless in at the 3. Down low, Gibson with the steal. Now the pass to Harkless. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. You can see it, Doris, with some of these good teams trying to build momentum as we get closer to the postseason.
You seem to know and understand which teams are good on both sides of the basketball. Are they top 5 efficiency, offense and defense? And as you know, Kevin, if there's a player with a hot hand, that can really make a difference in round 1.
Absolutely. Here's Payton. Steven Adams making his last shot. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Here's Gibson. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
Certainly something to keep an eye on. We'll see how the rotations go this time out. Every night it seems to be different.
Barrett, no good.
Well, that's a case where a guy's trying to make a play, trying to take it up strong, but the defense was ready.
Adams wide open. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. To the left wing, Payton kicks to Randle, passes it to Barrett. Randle against Gallinari. Randle surveying the D. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Barrett. Kept alive by New York. Harkless the pass to Gibson. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Here's Gallinari. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
Well, the Thunder begin on the defensive end of the floor.
Oh, that was worth the price of admission. He's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 28-point game against Utah. He feeds it to Adams. Takes a shot at the elbow. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
I mean, this guy has become an expert at utilizing the screen and roll. Just does such a good job rolling to the rim and being a factor.
Payton can't get it to go.
And that's where you want to make the next pass. This guy is a good scorer, but the defense was right on him.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Now, here's Barrett. He's coming off a 16-point game against Atlanta.
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story.
Well, Taj Gibson is so strong on the backboards. His ability to pursue the offensive glass is truly a thing to watch.
Here's George. From outside, off the mark. Knicks trail by 3. Gibson passes to Randle. Barrett wide open. He fires. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
Shoots. Paul can't get it to go.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
And that's a foul called on Gallinari. That's his first foul. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for the Knicks. Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Paul. Robinson against Adams. Can't hit that one. And the Thunder going the other way now. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And that one's good. Schroeder.
Well, rhythm, confidence. When Schroeder is pulling the trigger, you know he's feeling it.
Al Payton. He just could not put it together in that loss to Atlanta. Randall. Great positioning on the putback.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Gallinari inside the three-point line, and the jumper is on the mark.
This guy a tough cover for any defender. Creative and assertive scoring the ball.
And so it's the Oklahoma's. Chris Ball talks about the matchups he faces at the point guard.
Toughest position in the NBA night.
And CP3, one of the most competitive players in the game.
It's an obsession with him, and you can see how hard he gets after it every time he takes the court.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Noche Latina in the NBA as we resume action. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Knicks, they've got Reggie Bullock. Bobby Portis out there with Knox. Then it's Robinson, and it's Ntilikina in at the point guard position.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Now, here's Bullock. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta. 5 on the clock. Tries again, and again it's New York.
You can't just stop when there's a big setup. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
And so here is Oklahoma City following the score by New York. Here's Ferguson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And Muscala kicks it over to Schroeder. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Knicks trail by 7. And Doris, even though Schroeder changed roles when he was traded from Atlanta to the Thunder, he has embraced his new team.
A lot of people wondered, would Schroeder be willing to go to the bench and accept that role? He proved he was more than capable. And no longer having to act as a leader on a team, I think for Schroeder, he just enjoys going out and competing on a team with high aspirations. It's been a good fit.
Took the opportunity when he saw it.
Well, you like seeing Ntilikina take these kinds of opportunities. The jumper will make him better.
Here's Ferguson. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. For New York, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And Robinson throws it down.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. Here's Ferguson. That's to Diallo. From 17 feet out. And it's Noel missing. Knicks trail by 5. Ntilikina passes to Robinson. Up again. It's good on the putback.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
1:53 left to play in the first half. Noel passes to Schroeder. A 3 ball. It's rebounded by Portis.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
On the wing, and it's in there. Now just a 1-point Thunder lead.
Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. And those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. Some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. And that one falls for Ntilikina. And for Frank Ntilikina, some questions as to where he is best suited.
I mean, for me, I like when he plays more off the ball. I mean, he's shown that he could become a scorer when he only has to worry about that aspect of his game. Still very young and has a great set of skills with which to work. The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Ntilikina may not be the prototypical lead guard, but he puts it on time and on target right there.
Here's Paul, following the basket by Julius Randle. Here's Gallinari from 12 feet out. Adams' shot is off. For the New York Knicks, they come into this one following a loss to the Hawks. Pass to Ntilikina. Three-pointer on the way. And Adams has got the ball here for Oklahoma City. They trail by 1. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. To the middle. Here's Randle. Nifty move. The putback. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They lead by 1. And that's...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Nice game. Great performance by Julius Randle.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low. Just great work.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul. And it's Dort in at the small forward. Now here's Harkless. Randle kicks to Payton. Over Paul. And that one hits back iron. The Thunder with the lead.
Well, hard to find a team more iconic in the NBA than the New York Knicks. They are a premier brand.
Greg, this is absolutely true. This is an organization that has played a few games in London that have helped them, and it hasn't seemed to matter that the team has struggled for an extended period of time. They remain a major media presence in a major market. The NBA is better when the New York Knicks are a factor.
Randle no good. Oklahoma City leading by 4. Here's Dort. Misses the 3. New York shooting struggles apparent. 37% from the field. Barrett kicks to Randle. Payton trying to get open. Randle no good.
Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost.
Here's Paul. Here's Adams over Gibson. The rebound by Gibson.
All right, time now to pick it up. You're 1 for 4, and you certainly don't want to give your opponent momentum.
And the Knicks miss again.
Wow, another empty possession out of the gates. 0 for 4 in this half. Brutal.
Here's Paul. Adams trying to free himself up. And Paul gets it to go in.
Yeah, what you like about Paul in the pick and roll, not just excellent timing with the pass, but the placement. It's always where it needs to be for the finish.
Back to Gibson. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Harkless. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
So they foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And the Knicks making a change here. Robinson's checked in. Now here's Schroeder. He's got 6. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
They grab their own miss. And chance shot. Out to Payton. Here's the 3. It's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Barrett.
Well, what you want to see from Elfrid Payton are floor general skills on full display. Finds the open teammate. Nice.
Now here's Schroeder. And it's Noel missing. And Mo Harkless, the basket on the assist from Robinson. Doris, if you were going to build a team around one player, who would that player be?
Well, I think because of his age and continued growth opportunity, I would probably say Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's playing at an MVP level. He's still got another decade where he's probably in the peak range of his playing capabilities. And the reality is Giannis still has so much growing to do. He's a force at the rim. He continues to build that three-point game. And Kev, once he gets that in-between game, he will be unguardable.
Can't argue with that at all. Now here's Harkless. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Robinson, that's good.
They continue to be outworked and outmuscled on the backcourt.
Schroeder outside. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Schroeder's got 11 points.
Three-point shooting since the half has been about as good as you could ask for.
Payton laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, just big-time athleticism. When Elfrid Payton is driving with a purpose, he is determined to score.
And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Molinari finds Gilgeous-Alexander to the inside. The 11-footer. And it's Noel missing.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising it's such a tight game.
It's tipped. Oh, and here comes Schroeder all alone. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Well, the Dennis Schroeder show is cooking on all cylinders right now. The defense has no answer.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Payton. 2 free throws coming up, and yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting...
And we've reached the end of the third. Thunder lead by 4. And time to step aside quickly.
You've done a great job moving the ball.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. We've got Bobby Portis. Reggie Bullock is out there with Knox. Then there's Payton. And it's Ellington in at the 2-guard position. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Here's Payton. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Payton's got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for New York. Muscala dishes to Adams. And stolen by Portis. And a fast break now for New York. The score now all even. Now here's Paul. From outside the arc. Rebounded by Knox. Basket here gets them back in front.
And it's been a long time coming, partner.
And Kevin Knox, yet another player out of the University of Kentucky. We've seen so many enter the NBA from that program. What they love about Kevin Knox is his ability to score at all three levels.
For the Knicks, Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis, and it's Dennis Smith in for Payton.
Well, you think about Kevin Knox, 1 year of collegiate basketball at the University of Kentucky before being picked 9th overall in 2018. Let's remember, he's young, but he seemed to be prepared for the bright lights.
And he comes up with the deuce. And it's 7 points for Chris Paul. And with Knox, the Knicks kept feeding him minutes, Doris, allowing him to learn on the fly.
Yes, because of the circumstance with his team, he got a lot of the offense running through him as the season progressed. And for Kevin Knox, he had ample room to grow and make mistakes, and that's critical to his development.
Poked away. Muscala, the pass to Paul. And the layup is good. Paul's got 4 points now in the quarter.
After being held scoreless in the first, he's turning it on here in the second.
Here's Smith. And Adams sends it back.
Well, so good at anticipating when shots are going to go up. Steven Adams, terrific protecting the basket.
Paul for three. Rebounded by Knox. Knicks have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Ellington inside the three-point line. Offensive rebound. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Knox has got the lead up to 2 now for the Knicks.
That is the kind of effort by Kevin Knox that can become contagious. Get it off the window and finish it off.
Paul for three. The Thunder keep it going. A new 14-second clock. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That free throw, no good.
You know, sometimes we bemoan the lack of physicality in the league these days. That is not something that applies to Mr. Steven Adams.
So New York ends up going with the new group. Then for the Thunder, Gallinari, he's checked in for Mike Muscala. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Terrence Ferguson. Ntilikina passes to Randall. Clock at 6. Looking to end his cold spell. The shot's good.
Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just getting the job done when they need to. Make every possession count.
Well, this is why you run your offense through him in important situations. You know he's going to deliver.
Paul with the three. A three-pointer is right on target.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency.
Barrett kicks to Robinson. The pass to Harkins. And he banks in the layup. And the Knicks lead by 3.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Paul passes to Gallinari. Here's Dort. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Terrific closeout there to challenge the three.
It may be the hardest thing to do in basketball. Close under control, and he's more than up to the task.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Bucket is good.
Calm, cool, collected under pressure. Steven Adams, no problem.
The Knicks leading by 3. Here's Ntilikina. 1:05 left in the fourth quarter. Some nice passing by New York here. It's tipped. Here's Dort. Got it. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, Greg, to me, more often than not, when you attack, good things happen.
And I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
Yeah, smart move.
34 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Gallinari against Randall. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
Boy, that's the last thing they needed. This game too close to be making those kinds of errors.
Taj Gibson's checked in for New York. Elfrid Payton comes in for Frank Ntilikina. Paul with the ball. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Dort. To take the lead. Oh, missed it. Good.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
And those second chance points can add up. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're behind by 1. 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. What's your take?
And guys, it all comes down to this. One shot to win the game. They have just enough time to run a play that'll lead to a catch and shoot here on the inbound. Maybe one quick pass and then get it up.
Here's Dotson. So a close game sees Oklahoma City taking this one. David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it. Clouds passing high over the tip. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Beasley.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at that true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling it.
So the New York starting 5. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Barrett is out there with Payton, and it's Harkless in at the 3 spot. And for Minnesota, we've got Beasley. He's out there with D'Angelo Russell, and it's Towns in at the 5. And he's flourishing as a scorer. But, Brent, how does Julius Randle take that next step?
Well, I think, Kevin, if he keeps improving on his consistency shooting from that 10-foot to 16-foot range where guys are daring him to shoot and not wanting to deal with him driving into them. You know, last year he went up 6 percentage points from 35% to 41% in that 10 to 16-foot range. You keep seeing that kind of improvement, the growth in his game is going to come.
Here's Harkless after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Robinson misses about 1 minute into the first quarter. And stolen by Payton. And now Randall pushing it up, and no one back to stop him. Towns with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Shots good by Hernan Gomez.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed. He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
And here are the Knicks now after the basket by Minnesota. And that's a foul called on Malik Beasley. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Payton. A really disappointing game for him in that loss to Atlanta. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Looking at the last game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was a loss to the Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
Well, let's hope there isn't any carryover from that letdown in this one.
And here's the fast break for 3. Beasley, that one, no good. And New York the other way now. This, their first chance to take a look at Minnesota this season.
Yeah, and a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
They get the rebound. Robinson kicks to Harkless. Payton, right side. Here's Randall. Out to Payton. Shot clock at 2. Kept alive by New York. Robinson passes to... What a jam!
You knew something good was coming, Kevin, right? Oh, that's nuts. Randall getting up there, turning a little bit, and putting on a bit of a show here.
And, guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Payton with another miss.
His touch has left him in this quarter. Nowhere close to the kind of output they need from him.
Well, the big story from the Knicks last season was the surprise trade that sent Porzingis to Dallas. Shook up the entire roster.
Well, never easy to trade a franchise player, but there was some rumblings that maybe Porzingis was not going to stay there long term. And a surprise deal made last year as Porzingis exited New York for Dallas. So the next opportunity for them was draft and free agency, and to try to get as flexible as they possibly could be for the next few years.
Timberwolves leading by 4. Here's Russell. Lays it up off the glass.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Payton. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And there's a whistle. That goes on Hernan Gomez. That's his first foul. Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Dotson's checked in for Payton. Harkless kicks to Dotson. And the Knicks miss again.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-up, so maybe just a step too far.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Here's Barrett following the three by Minnesota. Here's Randall to the left side wing. And Barrett with the basket on the assist from Randall.
The man was wide open there, and Julius Randle understood the timing to get him the ball to get that score.
Noel. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Randall passes to Barrett. Randall kicks to Harkless. Here's Dotson. Drills it from outside. 17 seconds left in the first. Harkless with the steal. And now the Knicks on the break. Barrett is running. Out left to the wing. Fires from deep. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Culver. And again, unable to change momentum here. And some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And guys, what's your take so far in the Timberwolves?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, that worked wonders for them in the quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments get made.
They've got Layman. He's out there with James Johnson, and it's Reed in at the 5, down low. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. 6 to shoot. Noel. And it's off from three-point range. New York trailing. And the former Razorback, Bobby Portis, took a few years to find his spot in the NBA. But now he does produce.
And great big man to bring in off the bench. Good size and quickness combination, and will always give you scoring with that second unit.
Ahead, Noel. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And taking a look now at the stats for Johnson. This past month, he's really set himself apart, averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And every team needs a good backup big to spell the starters, and that's what he brings to the table.
The role consists of rebounding, setting screens, protecting the rim. Anything else he gives you is found change in the couch.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
To the paint. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Johnson. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Not getting old here. Seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
Ntilikina passes to Knox. New York moving it around. For 3, Bullock. New York with a new 14. Ntilikina kicks to Bullock. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Johnson. Layman. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Layman's got the lead up to 9 now for the Timberwolves.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Craig, he's ferocious when the ball goes up. Gibson passes to Bullock. Here's Ntilikina. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Minnesota with the ball. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Gibson with the steal. Here's Bullock. Pass to Ntilikina. And a wide open look for Portis. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Timberwolves leading by 9. Johnson from outside. The rebound by Gibson. And here's Gibson. He'll bring it up for the Knicks. No points yet here in the second quarter for them. Count it. Good. Brent, we hear this all the time. Good defense beats good offense. Do you think that's true?
I don't know how defense scores. So in today's game, seeing the juggernauts and seeing what we've seen, Kevin, quite frankly, as some of the best offensive teams, not only in the last 5 years, but in the history of the league, around the Houston Rockets and what the Golden State Warriors have been able to do. It's about equipping your team defensively to be able to stop that stylistically. But certainly, every coach will say it comes down to defense, because that is something you can control.
And the Knicks making a change here. Ellington's checked in. Passes to Beasley. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Towns comes with a double team. Got a piece of it, and stolen by Russell. This one for three. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Hitting three-pointers, so important in today's NBA. Good thing Russell's got the range and confidence to do so.
Ellington the pass to Knox. Here's Portis. Hits the target from 18 feet.
Ooh, that's a great matchup for him just because of the size difference right there. He makes that mid-range shot at a very high percentage.
And the basket by Okogie.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Ellington kicks to Bullock. Back to Ellington. Drills the three-pointer. Ellington's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And not where he earns his money, that three-point shot. But he's a good shooter from that range if he's got space.
Pass to Russell to the wing on the left. And Johnson now top of the key. And there's the pass to Okogie. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. On the wing, Ellington lets the three fly. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Hernan Gomez is checked in, and a new group in for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Julius Randle comes in for Bobby Portis. It's checked in for Kevin Knox. And it's Payton in for Reggie Bullock. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Beasley for three. Robinson pulls it in. Ellington with it. Russell's there. Here's Payton. A putback. It's good on the putback. Randall's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Knicks.
Well, Randall not giving up on that play, smells that one out, grabs the ball, and gets 2 more.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. It was a closely contested first quarter for Minnesota. They were able to squeeze that. And that does it for our halftime.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at Towns, he's really been playing well.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Yeah, we'll see if the double teams start to come here in the second half to make them adjust offensively, but he's going to keep going at him.
Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. It's Randall and Robinson at the 4 and the 5. Alfred Payton is out there with Barrett, and it's Harkless in at the small forward position. Barrett the pass to Payton. Launches a 3. Rebound Minnesota. It's stolen by Randall. There he goes!
You don't want to be jumping on a play like that. No. Wow, he was up there, Kevin. Well, so strong, and when he gets that straight line drive, Kevin, he's going to go right at anybody that's in his way to get contact.
Here's Beasley. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got 3 assists now in this one.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Here's Payton. Off target from outside.
So far, Kevin, the third quarter has not started well, just 1 of 4.
Timberwolves passing it around. A wide open shot from Hernan Gomez. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Pretty much not a player in the league is going to pass up a shot like that so much for the defense.
Harkless the pass to Randall. Back to Harkless. Pass to Payton. And that's a foul called on Malik Beasley. That'll be his second foul of the game. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Here's Dotson. Kept alive by New York.
And the offensive rebounding, really the story here today. Even with the big lead, they're still showing more hustle on the board.
The Knicks shooting their second and third free throws tonight. D'Angelo Russell's checked in for Minnesota. Both good from the line that time. You know, so many great dribblers, ball handlers in this league right now. Who's the best at shooting off the bounce?
Well, three prime candidates to do that, Kevin, exist at the point guard position, and I put James Harden in the point guard category with how much he has the ball. Harden, Kyrie, Steph Curry, three great names that are able to find their way to get the ball into the shooting pocket. No matter where they move, off the dribble, finding consistency. It's a really sought-after attribute in the players who are coming up now because of how impactful these guys have been.
And again, Minnesota with the triple.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout. Randall getting up there, explosive vertically on that play with great timing.
To the wing right side. Here's Culver. Off target with his three.
Looks like the game plan is they're willing to give him that kind of shot. It worked out for them this time, but if they give it to him again, I bet 3 points are coming, Kevin.
Robinson passes to Harkless. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Hernan Gomez kicks to Lehman. Back to Hernan Gomez. Outside, Russell passes it to Reed. A shot by Culver. Nobody around. No good on the triple. Knicks trail by 13. Outside, Robinson. Dotson the pass to Randall. Now Barrett. Hernan Gomez covering. Back to Randall. Over Hernan Gomez. Randall no good.
Well, if you believe in the numbers, that mid-range shot is not a high-value shot, even with little or no defense on you.
New York's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Down low, Robinson kicks to Barrett. Count that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut to just 11 points in the basket from Robinson.
I just think that's trouble. You're gonna let that guy shoot layups. You're asking for it.
Over in the corner. No one near him. It's rebounded by New York.
Yeah, that miss might stick with him for a little while. That's kind of a shoot-around jumper if I've ever seen one.
And there's the call on Jake Lehman. That's his first foul. Both teams deciding to change it up. And it's Bullock missing. Timberwolves leading by 11. Okogie, the pass to Reed. Now here's Culver. Here's Reed, defended by Portis. Stolen by Bullock. By himself, trips down the breakaway slam.
And that's how you do it. Impressive play, explosive finish.
Yeah, sweet finishes like that, you see everybody get up. Look at the guys on the bench. They're fired up.
Reed gets the bucket.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
The Knicks shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game.
All the talk about Ntilikina coming into the league is that he was an unpolished offensive player, but defensively could get after it and guard the 1, 2, and possibly 3 position. But now it's about him stepping up offensive production.
And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul, seeing if that was the right call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at. And how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review.
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. The Timberwolves on top, up by 9. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's what great passing will do for you right there, dissecting the defense with that play.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. A moment now to reset the lineups. Back to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, they've got Towns. Malik Beasley out there with Russell. Then it's James Johnson. And it's Okogie in at the 3, the small forward. So for the Knicks, Robinson comes in for Taj Gibson. And Damian Dotson subbed in for Ntilikina. Russell passes to Beasley. Timberwolves passing it around. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
Got to be a little bit more aggressive defending him from that range. He can be dangerous.
Here's Dotson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Johnson, the pass to Russell. No good on the 3. Knicks trail by 12. And a fast break now for New York. Dotson gets the bucket.
Traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
Here's a chance now to check out the New York Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Friday, they're off to Miami to face off with the Heat. And then on Tuesday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
And for the matchup with the Celtics, that's where you have got to bring your A game, especially when you know you're going to be fighting an uphill battle all night long.
And that one, good.
Nice job getting to the basket. When Johnson has a good look, he doesn't pass it up.
Here's Robinson, and there's another one for the Knicks. And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for Minnesota. 17 points was their biggest margin. Beasley for 3. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Ellington. Outside Portis. Fires for 3. Good on the triple.
He does so much out there to stretch out the defense when he's out on the perimeter, and he drains the triple.
Beasley finds Russell. Beasley outside. Offensive rebound. From the arc. Not that time. His 6th miss. He's made 4 of 10 so far.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level. And his tonight has been high.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
Well, I hope there's one player on that team out there that has interest in winning this game. Right now, it doesn't look to be one.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively. I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Yeah, this is not the team that we saw in the first quarter right now. Way more confident out there, and the cohesion of the team is impressive.
Russell kicks to Beasley. And it's Beasley again missing.
You could see he wanted to get him back. Sadly, he couldn't capitalize from outside the arc.
Inside, Robinson. And finished off by Robinson.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
And great intensity here down the stretch. He's not one to shrink in the moment.
Take a look at him. Locked in right now in this moment. Wants the ball in his hands and feels real comfortable with the shot he's taking.
Ellington from outside. And again, New York with the triple.
A pretty free look from three-point range. The D forgot about him on that possession.
Well, you concern yourself with the other guys who you think are going to damage you, and he stepped up and delivered that huge three-point shot.
Here's Dotson. Here's Robinson. Here's Dotson. Pass to Bullock. Robinson dishes to Bullock. 4 on the shot clock. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. And the Knicks getting another bucket right there.
Hard to leave any NBA player that wide open from that distance.
Outside Portis. 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Yep, that one goes in there.
Now, that play never gets old, Kevin. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
And he can't stop the run as he misses.
And that was almost a block. Still did enough to alter the shot.
Yeah, altering the shot just as long as there's a miss. That kind of energy not wasted.
Towns. Another miss by Minnesota.
Oh, can't punish the defense for leaving him open that time. That's a frustrating miss for a really steady jump shooter.
Minnesota with the ball. 7-point differential. From deep three-point range, Robinson pulls it in. Now Portis. Three-pointer Ellington. It's rebounded by Towns. Johnson outside. Okogie for three. It's money from deep. So a close game sees New York take this one. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks.